Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So for this video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts about the passport bros movement that you see on social media. And also I'm going to talk about a situation involving one of these passport bros. So the passport bros is a social media movement of brothers who are basically saying that they are done dealing with African American women and American women in general, and they have decided to get their passports and travel abroad to meet women. These guys promote the idea that foreign women are more feminine, foreign women are more submissive, foreign women are more desirable as partners. So a lot of times these guys do a lot of videos where they're basically, flashing their passports as if these passports are some kind of flex, as if they're some kind of trump card and some kind of badge of honor. And they constantly taunt American women and African American women in general about going abroad and stuff like that. So there's a couple of thoughts that I want to share about this whole situation. First of all, I think that if these guys were really done with American women, they would not even be talking about American women. They would just focus on who they're dealing with, focus on the foreign women and talk primarily just about the foreign women that they're dealing with. But instead, these guys find the need to throw it in American women's face and taunt them basically with these passports and basically berate them and talk about how lacking they are and how great these foreign women are. And really, I just think that some of these guys are seeking attention on social media and stuff like that, and that's why they do it. And they're trying to taunt these women and get back at women because of bitterness that they harbor due to past relationship issues. So that's one thing. The other thing is, one of the problems that I have with these guys is that they're making sweeping generalizations about a whole group of people, a whole nation of women. Basically, they're saying the whole nation of American women is not desirable. These women have all these flaws and all that kind of stuff that they have to go to a whole completely different country in order to find a quality woman. And that's a prime example, just making a generalization, stereotyping women, and stereotyping African American women in particular, as if to suggest that no African American women are qualified or good enough for these guys or meet their qualifications or are satisfactory to these guys. And I think that is just absolutely ridiculous. There are plenty of quality, good Black American women right here. You don't have to travel to some foreign country in order to find a good woman. And then also, a lot of these guys are stereotyping these foreign women as if, they will not have, some of the same issues with foreign women. Just because a woman lives in Brazil or lives in some foreign country, that doesn't make her a better spouse. That doesn't necessarily mean that she is necessarily more feminine than American women. You are simply stereotyping and making generalizations that may not apply to many women in these foreign countries. So that's the other thing. Another point is, a lot of these guys fail to do any kind of self-analysis at all. Instead of looking at themselves, looking at the man in the mirror, they basically blame all their relationship issues on all American women. These guys never take into consideration the fact that perhaps there's something wrong with the women that they selected. It's something wrong with their selection process. They don't even consider that at all. These same men are the same men that criticize American women for the choices that they make. These same men are, who don't want to hold themselves accountable for anything, want to hold women accountable for everything. And I just think that that's weak. And I think that because of that, these people don't get to the heart of their relationship issues. They think that by changing their environment, they're going to change their situation. And the fact of the matter is, there's a common denominator in all the failed relationships that people have, and that common denominator is you. And I think that we need to look in the mirror and see what is it that we are doing wrong, what is it that we're doing wrong in terms of the choices that we make, and in terms of the women that we decide to pursue. Are there certain things that you may be doing wrong in the way you treat women, or the way you approach women, or the way you talk to women? It's like they don't want to consider that at all. Instead, they just place all of the blame at the feet of American women. And it's the fact of the matter is, regardless of where you go, you're still going to have to deal with your own issues. You're going to still have to deal with your own flaws, and you're going to bring those flaws and those issues anywhere that you go. The other thing is this, I think that, a lot of these guys are basically exploiting foreign women. That's the situation. A lot of times, these guys are sexual tourists. They are basically participating in, prostitution. They are basically buying the services of prostitutes a lot of times. And that's exploitation. They're exploiting, financially desperate women, women that are selling their bodies, sex workers and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, a lot of these guys will pay for these sex workers and stuff like that and post videos online, basically suggesting that they have this harem of women. They got all these great women that they're finding, when they have actually purchased that woman's service. They have bought that woman, and that is not a flex. Any man with money, some money, can buy a woman. You can do that right here in the United States. You can participate in, prostitution right here in the United States. And I think that that's really despicable. And I think that it's lowering yourself, is degrading yourself, for you to feel that the only way that you can get love and affection is by paying for it. And that's what happens a lot of times in these situations involving these foreign women. And the other thing is this, like, even in situations where they're not directly participating in paying for, prostitution services and all that kind of stuff, a lot of times these guys are exploiting financially desperate women. A lot of times these women are in these developing nations where they are financially in need. They are not with these American men because these guys are so charming. They're not with these American men because they're so great. They are with these men because they provide them with financial resources. They are in a transactional situation, and that is not some kind of flex. In fact, that's just another form of simping. These guys are just simping abroad, and they're presenting it as if that's some kind of flex. They are exploiting women that are financially in need. A lot of these women have families to support, and some of these guys are paying to support these foreign women and their families. Some of these women want to leave their country and come to America to get citizenship or to get a green card, and they use these gullible American men to do that. And that is not something that is a flex. And in fact, a lot of these guys are like sexual colonists. They are participating in sexual colonization of these foreign countries. And so there's a situation that I want to talk about briefly involving this TikTok personality, this YouTuber by the name of Auston Holleman. And feminists in Brazil, this is an African-American man who relocated to Brazil, and he does a lot of videos on women in Brazil, and he's come under fire. One of the feminists there and a group of feminists have basically launched a campaign against him. And the feminist name is Stephanie Ribeiro. And I will post a link to the article so that you can read it for yourself. And basically, she's complaining about this American man coming to her country, basically suggesting that Brazilian women are easy, objectifying Brazilian women. This man, asks these women all these crude questions and basically encourages American men to come to Brazil, basically to have sex with these Brazilian women. And, in one particular example, this guy, asked these women what size penises do they like and all that kind of stuff, exposes these women, and basically says that it's impossible for men not to have sex in Brazil. Like, the women are so easy and so available, it's impossible not to have sex with these women. And then, somebody in one of his videos commented that, all Brazilian women are for sale. And so, this feminist is standing up against this, standing up against these stereotypes against Brazilian women, standing up against the objectification of Brazilian women, and basically standing up against sexual tourism in her country, and standing up against this American. She goes as far as to call him a gringo. And because of this campaign against Auston Holleman, he's decided to take down some of his videos, a lot of his videos and stuff like that. And I saw one article where he was talking about going to Thailand, allegedly leaving Brazil to go to Thailand and stuff like that. And so that's the situation involving him. And the feminists, again, Stephanie Ribeiro, hopefully I'm not mispronouncing her name, but she talks about how she's glad that this guy is, shutting down his social media, and she's been like bringing attention to this issue to the consulate and everything like that. And so now he's talking about going to, allegedly talking about going to Thailand. And I also saw some of these passport bros post a video, one of them post a video on TikTok talking about how now they're taking Brazil off the list of countries to go to. And, I just think that it's pathetic. I mean, the Brazilian people are not upset that you're taking them off the list. In fact, they're happy that you're not coming there for your sexual tourism. They're happy for that. And, another thing is this, these guys are just something else, man. It's one thing that I wanted to bring up about these guys. I may have to bring it up in another video. But the point that I was going to make is this. These guys like wave around these passports as if they're flexing on American women. American women couldn't care less if these guys go to Brazil. They couldn't care less at all. Nobody's losing sleep because these simps have decided to simp abroad. Nobody's losing sleep over that. I know that these women are. And that brings me to another point. I know a lot of people will say, why create this video? Why create a video? Why be concerned about what these men choose to do with their lives and stuff like that? Why even bring it up? Why are you as a man even concerned about this issue or raising this issue? And here's my response. First of all, I don't care about what somebody personally decides to do. If they decide to travel and meet women and stuff like that, as an individual, that's your business. But when you present that as if it's some kind of solution to American men and their relationship issue, that's when I take issue with that. When you use a public platform to make certain arguments, you can expect that those arguments will be challenged, especially if they are wrong and they are deeply flawed. And that's the case for all the reasons that I stated here. When you enter the public marketplace and you put your ideas out there, you can expect them to be challenged. You can expect your arguments to be challenged. And that's what I'm doing with this. I'm challenging the misogyny in these statements that these guys make. I'm just challenging the flaws in their logic. That's what I'm doing. It's not out of me player hating or anything like that, or me being jealous, or me, being overly concerned with what some man chooses to do as an individual. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's about the merits of the arguments that they make, and it's about challenging the stereotyping, generalizations, and misogyny that these guys present. And I have no objection to, obviously I have no objection to people having a passport. I have a passport. I have no objection to people traveling. I have, recently started traveling to these places, and I encourage all people, period, to travel so that they can see the world and experience different cultures, learn about different people, and eat different foods. So that's something that I encourage, but I do not encourage the exploitation of women that are in developing countries. I do not encourage, people making negative stereotypes and generalizations about African American women and just American women, period. So with that, please rate, comment, subscribe, like the video, share the video, hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I post new content on here. Peace and blessings. Have a great day.